I went on vacation this past week, so I'm filming this and we're going to be posting it this coming Sunday. So by the time you're watching this past week I was on vacation. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I go on vacation, it's always this battle of like, do I completely unplug? How do I turn off from work? It's reality. And so over the last 10 years in being a startup founder, being an entrepreneur, being a CEO, I learned that the best way to deal with this is to just carve out some time to actually think about the business, take a step back, do some work, and then do the rest of the time to actually be on vacation. And when I know that I have time allotted to work and work on some things, I know that I can truly be present and truly enjoy all the fun things that I'm doing while I'm actually on vacation. So this week, one of the biggest things that I've been working on in my me time and thinking about Unstoppable and everything that I've done is thinking about what do we need to work on next? What's our strategy to grow? How do we serve everyone in this channel, everyone in our coaching programs in a bigger way? And one of the questions I got to was, who do I need to be and who do I need to become to be able to accomplish this next stage of growth, to continue to serve at the highest level all the SaaS founders that are out there, to continue to grow Unstoppable to everything that we wanted to be. By the way, the last time I took a break like this was in 2018, end of 2018. We sold Kader to Marketo in 2017. By end of 2018, we had sold Marketo to Adobe. I think I have that timeline right. Yeah, that's right. And I took a bunch of time off. I went to Bali and I did a whole planning exercise and a bunch of me time and unplugging to figure out what do I do next. In that, and I did a whole video on it, I'll link to it below. You don't have to go right now. You can see like baby TK from 2018 planning all this. Basically, I came up with a 3-stage plan for Unstoppable. There was stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. So 2019, I went all in with it, twists and turns, COVID, everything. 2022, stage 1 is now complete and stage 2 has begun. And there's a lot of exciting announcements coming about what we're going to be doing in this channel and what we're doing with Unstoppable to continue to serve SaaS founders in a big way. But this week was really for me to take some time off and pause and reflect and unplug and see some of my favorite people and also figure out like, okay, how do we actually continue to scale on stage 1? What does stage 2 really look like? And through all of that, I asked myself this question: who do I need to be to accomplish this next stage now that we've accomplished all these things that I set out back in 2018? And that was what prompted this episode. I knew I wanted to do an episode even though it would be later on in the week. That's what prompted this episode. So as I was writing in my notebook and I was going through my me time, I wrote down 6 things that I would need to be and I would need to own and I would need to express the habit of and follow the principles of to be able to accomplish these goals that we are essentially going after in terms of taking Unstoppable to the next level. So it is my hope that when I share these 6 principles with you, you too will be able to apply them and embrace them so that you can become the person, the founder, the leader, the CEO that can actually take your company to that next stage of growth. This is going to be a different video. I'm doing it from the road, so different camera setup, different surroundings, different flow. I hope you enjoy it. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS business faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you are new to this channel, I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So if you want to be notified every single time I drop an episode like this, from the trenches, these are all principles from the trenches, from actually being in your shoes and doing what you're doing and going through what you're doing and actually having done it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, this fast-growing community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's so awesome to have you over here. Okay, so I remember in the early stages of building my company, my last company, Taudap, in the early stages of that, in my early stages of my startup journey, I remember we were going through some challenges, as everyone does in the early stages, right? I've had my share of ups and downs, and that's why I do this channel, to share actually what happens. And I remember I was talking to one of my best friends, Suchit Patel. Suchit Patel is a MD, PhD, really smart guy. We've been friends since the 8th grade, right? And we were talking, and I was telling him, like, man, I'm burnt out. I feel like I can't quite keep up. There's so much to do, and there's so many things that are coming in. There's so many challenges. And he kind of leaned in and he asked me, and he's like the most chill dude I've ever seen. He has an MD, PhD, but he's always seems so chill. And he's like, well, do you have me time? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, me time is crucial. And when he said that, it was like etched into my brain when he's saying it in my head. I still repeat it. He was like, yeah, dude, like me time is crucial. It's like you got to carve out some time, regardless of everything else that's going on, where you really have to sit down and figure out your stuff and your strategy and pause and reflect. And it like makes total sense. And so quickly people are like, oh, like, lucky for you to say you have all this time in the world. Like, but no, this is a guy that's an MD, PhD, right? Like, he's super smart, but he always made time for me time, and he meant it. And what I realized was when I had a day job before I quit and started my company, ToutApp, I had built in me time because I was bored at a day job. I had so much slack, I had so much time. I inherently had me time. But when I quit and I started a company, I started building a team, I raised venture capital, that me time took a back seat and went away. And I never thought to purposefully make time for me time. And that's what really got me going almost 10 years ago now on thinking about what are the skills, what are the habits a successful founder needs beyond the obvious stuff to actually be successful in that role and actually be successful in building a tremendous company. And so that's what I'm going to walk you through in this episode, from actually having learned this the hard way on what I practice, what I'm doing right now. And when you follow these 6 principles, it'll actually help you be the leader that you want to be to take your company to that next stage of growth. So if you're excited to get in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Let's go to principle number 1. So principle number 1 on my list, and I won't show up, this is like my list, and obviously I worked on it a bunch to really get it right. So principle number 1, in case you haven't guessed already, is you gotta have some me time. Me time is absolutely crucial. And me time is one of those things where you actually set out some time, whether it's an hour and a half, or 2 hours, or even like for me, setting out time in my vacation where I go to a corner with my notebook, and I always have a notebook with me, and actually think about what is going to be my strategy to grow, and what are the things that I'm struggling with, and what are the things that I need to work through, and what are the things that I need to think about, and what are the things that I need to break through, and what are the things that I need to do, and just laying it all out and just thinking about it. And it's expressly not doing, it's actually thinking. And that is a crucial piece of me time. So principle number 1 is you gotta schedule in some me time. Like even in my vacation, I'm actually scheduling in some me time. And that way, when I know I'm doing all the fun stuff or spending time with friends or hanging out, I'm not worried about, oh my God, I'm missing out on work, or what am I missing? Like I already had that covered and I know I have that time scheduled. So it makes a huge, 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 huge difference. So principle number 1 is just you gotta have some me time, some strategy time where you think about the business, about your life and the macro versus just being in it and just doing. And what I found is when you actually take a step back and allocate time for me time, I do it every Sunday, I do it the first of every month, I do it once a quarter where I do an offsite, I do it every few years where I really need to take a step back and think big picture, because inflection points. Me time is super crucial. Thinking about strategy versus execution is super crucial. So that's principle number 1, me time. Principle number 2, as I was making this list, this is a list I made for myself, and I'm like, oh my God, like I think others would get value from it. And this list came together very quickly because I've learned this through the decades of operating. The second principle that came into play is in order for me to achieve the goals that I want to achieve and scale the company the way I want to scale and serve at the level I want to serve, in order for me to be the leader that I need to be for my team, I actually need to be focused with clarity on our mission, vision, and our why, and my why. As you are executing and as you are scaling, shit goes wrong. No one would be here watching videos on how to grow companies on YouTube if things were always perfect and easy. Because there's tons of ups and downs, things do go wrong. And so you have to figure out a way to how to get through those. Now, look, you can get help from people, you can watch YouTube videos, you can have mentors, you can hire people, all those things are true. But what I've found is when things go wrong, there's only one thing that allows you to continue to forge ahead. This is where the idea of unstoppable was born for me. Even when I was operating my prior companies, we would be going through tough times. But I was like, look, as long as I don't quit, I will not lose. As long as I don't give up, I will not lose. As long as I keep finding a way forward, as long as there's one more way forward, I will win. And that's where this idea of unstoppable was born. Unstoppable doesn't mean that you are perfect. It means that there are ways to move forward no matter what, even if there are bumps in the road. And the one thing that actually helped me keep finding a way forward and not give up was having clarity on my mission, my vision, and my why. And this is not frou-frou. This is very, very like tactical, very real. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you building the company? What is your alternative? Like if you weren't doing this, what would you rather be doing? And I got to a point of clarity on my mission, my vision, why I'm doing this, that allowed me to say, there is nothing else in the world I would rather be doing. I'm not missing out on anything. This is all that matters. And when I do this, this is what my life will look like. This is what impact I will have on the planet. This is what it will look like for my company. This is what will look like for my team. And because of that clear vision and clear why, every single tough situation that came up, I was able to say, let's keep going. Let's find another way forward. And this is not even just for bad times, even for good times, when you're thinking about how do we go forward? Out of the 50 billion opportunities that we can go after, what do we pick? What do we choose? That clarity, that focus was super important. And as I made my list of What are the 6 skills I need to have and I need to embody? And who do I need to be for this next stage for Unstoppable? Again, remember there was stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Stage 1, we're like there. Stage 2 is kicking off. Stage 3 is coming soon. Super excited about it. I was like, look, I need to just continue to have focus. I need to remember my mission, my vision, my why I'm doing this, because we're going from hundreds of clients to thousands. We're going from 1 or 2 offerings to a number of offerings that feed a flywheel. All those things will require me and my team and my leadership to make sure we remember our mission, vision, and why. So that's principle number 2. You want to make sure you stay focused and have clarity on your mission, your vision, and your why. And that will allow you to actually stay focused versus just saying, oh, let's just be focused. Like, what does that even mean? It means that you're tethered to an actual strategy and a vision and a mission. That's principle number 2. The third one that I wrote down in my list for me, and I think this will be helpful for everyone, it's worked really well for me, is adopt this mantra of discipline now or regret later. Discipline now or regret later. And that's one of the things that has served me really well when there are tough times or there are great times, particularly when things are going really well. You want to make sure you maintain the discipline that got you there. There's a number of things you did right on a consistent basis to get to that next stage. It can be very easy to say, oh, I can take it easy now, but there's no rest in the middle. You have to keep going. And so I always remind myself that you have to practice discipline now, discipline every day, or you will regret it later. So just because things are working well now doesn't mean you let off the gas. You have to keep going until you've gotten to that mission, vision that you're aiming for, that focus that you have, right? And all these 3 things build on each other. And so it's super important for you to have proper, ruthless prioritization, because you're gonna have competing priorities, competing at any given moment. You can decide between, do I do this or do I do this or do I do this? What do I do? I don't know. And you have to pick the thing that serves you in the best way. The moment you actually let off the gas or you get distracted, SaaS businesses particularly, businesses are sophisticated machines. It'll detect it. You'll see things starting to come off unless you are really prepared to step away from the business, which is a different story. But if you're in that scale stage, it's super important for you to have discipline and focus every single day. And you might ask, what does that even look like? It's about ruthless prioritization. You have 24 hours in a day. What are the things that you actually spend time on? What are the things you say no to? Yes, no is the decision-making process you are implicitly or explicitly doing every single day. And you have to understand what are the things you are ruthlessly prioritizing and what are the things you're purposely saying, this is not a priority. And that is something that you have to just get super good at. How do you get good at that? How do you get good at ruthless prioritization? And how do you actually have discipline every single day? You have clear focus on exactly what is important and what is not and what you're going towards. And anytime you're getting confused, you're going towards me time to say, hey, what is important? What is my focus? Because I'm having trouble having ruthless prioritization, the discipline on the day-to-day execution. And you start to see how principle 1, 2, and 3 build off of each other. Number 1 is me time to figure out the strategy. Number 2 is to have the focus and certainty around your mission, vision, and why. Number 3 is having discipline every single day to make sure that you're prioritizing the right things. And so I was writing this over dinner and I was making this list. I'm like, okay, this is a good list. Even I feel empowered from it. Now I have 3 more that I wrote down and I want to go into it. But before I do, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the power in this? This is why this was one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, the universe is aligning in a weird way where I'm taking this break. This is the list I needed for me. And then this is the topic that we wanted to do this week. And it all lined up in a weird way. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God everything works well, because I was really nervous I really wanted to get a video and I wanted to be meaningful. I don't want to just send out a video that's random from the road. So if you're getting value from this, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. And can I also just get a yes in the comments below? And any other insights that you have that you want to share, any other habits that you also have that are similar to this or different from this, to make sure that you can be the leader for your startup. All right, so now let's go to principle number 4, step number 4, or habit number 4. So remember, with 1, 2, and 3, it's really giving you clarity on exactly who you want to be, why you are doing it, what your mission and vision is. You're making sure you continue to forge ahead and you have the discipline every single day to execute on these things. Now, 4, 5, and 6 turned into more about execution. So 1, 2, and 3 ended up being about strategy for me in my list. And I didn't plan it this way, it just came together this way. 4, 5, and 6 ended up being more about execution. So number 4 for me was constantly asking who versus how. And this is one of the things that I had to learn really well as I was becoming, going from just a solo founder with an idea to revenues or team members or capital raised. I had to stop thinking about how do I do this all the time? How do I do everything? Which is okay to do in the pre-revenue stage, but once you're post-revenue, you have to really figure out how do you get leverage. You have to ask who versus how. So if you have the me time, you have the strategy, and then you actually have your focus time and you're clear on where you need to go, what the next hill is, is you have discipline on execution, it can be very easy to fall in the trap of I'm going to do everything, which does not scale and is not of good service for your customers or your company or your team. So you have to constantly be asking who versus how. And the difference is, instead of saying, how do I grow my company? How do I build a scalable go-to-market strategy? How do I get clarity in the strategy for my company? How do I build the proper product loop? You have to ask who. Who is the person I can talk to that can teach me this? Who is the person that has already done it? Who is the person that I can potentially hire? Who is the person I can bring on as an advisor? Who is the person that I can bring on as a coach? Who is the person that I can actually talk to that can introduce me to the right people to figure this out? Versus, how do I do it? One is from a place of, I have to figure out everything. It's all on me. No one else has seen this. I'm a unique snowflake. And the other, the who, is about, look, we're not reinventing the wheel here. There are a number of people that have done components of this. How do I fast track my learning? How do I get leverage? How do I get to the results faster? And that is a function of clarity on exactly what you're trying to do. It is a function of disciplined execution. And it is also ruthless prioritization of your time to say, do I go figure this out from scratch? Or do I actually get the cheat codes or the framework or hire the help that is needed to actually accomplish this? Who, not how, is principle number 4. And that's one of the things I wrote down for me. I'm like, look, we're at a stage in the business where we're profitable, we have revenues. We could take investment if we need to, but we don't need to for this stage 1. So let's talk about who versus a how. I don't have to do everything. We now already have team members for all areas of the business, so that all I do is just focus on the SaaS founders that I work with and this channel. And so I continue to ask myself, I wrote this down for a moment, like who, not how. For all these things that we're now having to unlock, who do we need to talk to versus how do I do it? And if you go watch that video from 2018, we'll link to it below, don't worry, you don't have to go right now. You'll see at that stage, it was just really like me with an idea for Unstoppable. I'm like, I think there's a thing here. And I'm like, it was all about me doing stuff and experimenting with this just to prove there was product market fit. But now it's more about who do I need to talk to versus how do I do it? It's all about how do we have competitive moats and how do we serve in a deeper level? How do we actually differentiate? Like those are things I think about. Who do we need to talk to for that? That's how I think about it. So principle number 4 is who, not how. And that's one of the super important things that you have to embrace as you get to the next stage of growth. And that's something that I'm really committing to as well and has served me well in the past. Principle number 5, this is something that I've talked about in this channel before, but it's worth mentioning again because it came up on my list. When you are pre-revenue and you're just figuring stuff out, everything is very intuitive. It's very qualitative decision making. Once you get to revenues and you're looking at scaling, there's a lot of, and regardless of what scale stage you're in, you could be at 10 million trying to get to 20, or you could be at a few $100,000 of ARR trying to get to 3 million, or you're at 10K MRR and you're trying to get to 3 million, whatever it may be. And what this principle is you have to make decisions based on math. There's no acronym here, it's just math. You just need to do math. Before it was, you had no data, so you had to do things in a qualitative way, and you did the best that you could, and you experimented a lot, and you iterated really quickly. As you start to get revenues flowing, as you start to see product market fit or initial product market fit, you have data. And it's super important for you to make decisions on ruthless prioritization, on who, not how, on what do you work on how do you achieve your goals and your mission and your vision and why, all those things that I talked about, using math. You have to embrace math. Like the reality of go-to-market, for example, for SaaS is for every 10 deals opportunities that you have, 2 of them are going to close. It's a 20% win rate on average. Can it be higher? Absolutely. But Pareto's principle applies here. It's an 80-20 principle. 20% of the deals that you have are going to close on average. Now, out of all the leads that you generate, 10% of them will become real fit deals on average. And so you start to see some math on exactly how many leads you need to generate, how much traffic you need to generate to actually hit a certain revenue target given your average contract value. That's math. That's just straight math. And you start to see that in your business once you start to get initial revenues. And so one of the things I had to remind myself is like, we have to just look at the math when we're making these decisions. Do we do this channel? Do we hire this agency? Do we do this? Do we do that? Do we not do this? Do we go after this market? Do we not? What does stage 2 of Unstoppable look like? It's already in play, don't worry, and you'll see it when the time is right. It's coming, I'm really excited about it. It'll serve SaaS founders on a whole different level beyond what we're already doing. But we had to do a lot of math around that to make sure we're making ruthless prioritization decisions on exactly which pieces that we choose to spend our time on and bring to our community. So principle number 5 here is you have to make math-based decisions and you have to embrace that. Principle number 6 is, and this is gonna sound self-serving, but it's not, and I promise you, it's like, this is why I do what I do, okay? Principle number 6, I'll just say it and I'll explain it. Principle number 6 is you have to embrace sales and marketing. You might say, oh, like, of course, TK, like you run a go-to-market program. So the sixth one is it's not that. The reason this is number 6, this is one after all these things, like think about how important all these other things are. They're core to how you operate as a human. And then number 6 is sales and marketing. Like it's that important. And because it's that important is why I do this. It's the other way around. I'm like, this is it. This is the most important thing. Like if number 1 is you got to get clarity on me time and actually have me time so you can function and think strategically. You're not bogged down. If number 2 is you need to actually have focused time to actually flesh out your mission, vision, and why. And that way in the ups and the downs, you stay tethered to what's important. Number 3 is you make ruthless decisions. Number 4 is you ask who, not how. And number 5 is you do the math. Number 6 is you got to, all those things you now have to do great at sales and marketing. Because here's the thing, sales and marketing as a founder is not just about running a funnel or running ads. Sales and marketing is everything. Once you do all these things, what you'll find is ruthless prioritization means you are doing sales and marketing. You are doing sales and marketing to recruit team members for the who. You are doing sales and marketing to investors to actually raise capital. You're doing sales and marketing for customers. Even if you have an entire sales team, I was at a 450 million ARR company. I sold Chowda to Marketo. Even then, the CEO got pulled in on deals. That's just what it took to close $1 million deals. The CEOs want to talk to the CEOs before they write $1 million check. So even for that, sales and marketing was key for bringing on customers at that scale, at that stage. Number 6 is really finding a way to embrace sales and marketing because that's all it is. Once you really prioritize all the things, you hire the right who's, all these things are coming in. As a CEO, as a founder of scaling the company, what you're really doing is sales and marketing. You're doing sales and marketing for your team, for recruiting, for your team members, your all hands. You're doing sales and marketing with your investors in your board meeting. You're doing sales and marketing with your customers. That's it. You have to embrace that. And that's one of the habits that I had to go in. Because one of the things I have always had to work on is I always think I'm an introvert, but I'm actually not. I'm an extrovert. But I naturally incline towards systems and one-to-many instead of just talking one-to-one to people or in small groups and getting out there and getting into guerrilla mode. But whenever I go into guerrilla mode, things work really well. And so one of the things I have to always remind myself is like, no, I got to get into sales and marketing mode because my natural mode is to just be an engineer and create systems. Whereas I'm like, no, I need to get out there and spread the message and meet more people and shake more hands and talk on more stages because those are things that will really get our message out now. And that's still sales and marketing. So number 6 is you have to embrace sales and marketing as a habit so that you actually acquire the right skills to be a successful founder and be the founder that you need to be to take your company to that next level. So let's recap here. Here's the 6 things that I wrote down for me and hopefully it'll be valuable for you. Here are the 6 things, 6 skills that you need as a successful startup founder that'll help you get your company to that next stage of growth, next stage of success, however you define it. Number 1, you need to carve out me time so you can actually work on the strategy, whether it's during a vacation, whether it's every Sunday, whether it's monthly. I do all 3. You should do all 3. Number 2, you need to stay focused. And in the good times and in the bad times, you need to stay focused and have a constant reminder of what is the mission, the vision, and the why for you and the business. You have to constantly remind yourself of it and sell yourself on it because that's how you make the actual decisions on staying focused. Number 3 is you actually have to practice discipline now versus regret later. Discipline now versus regret later. How do you do that? Ruthless prioritization. If you are clear on what your mission, vision, and why is, then you're very clear on exactly what matters and what doesn't. And you have to make ruthless prioritization and be able to say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And that will allow you to actually have focus on the strategy that matters and the things that matter and the execution that matters. Once you have those 3 things, the next 3 principles come to play. Number 4 is that you actually need to make sure that you are asking who, not how. It's not how do I do all of these things because you just can't. It's who do I need to talk to? And it's all about who do I need to talk to? Who has done this before? Who can I talk to? Who can I hire? Who can I recruit? Who can I bring on as an advisor? Who can I bring on as a coach? All those things. Who do I need to talk to given my current strategy, given my current goals, my mission, vision, and given the things that I need to go execute on? And how do I build up my team to get the right leverage as a founder so that I'm actually focused on the right things and we're able to accomplish our goals? Number 5 is as you're switching into this stage, you've done everything you can to be qualitative. Now you actually need to embrace being quantitative. Quantitative is super important. Do the math. Do the math on your go-to-market. Do the math on the market size. Do the math on your pricing. Do the math on every aspect of your business because you now have numbers and data and numbers don't lie. It's very true. And then apply your qualitative lens that has brought you this far so far. So you can do both. You don't have to do just one, but apply the math. And number 6, embrace sales and marketing because as you start to follow all these, your company will start to grow. You will bring on more people to help you and give you leverage or give you cheat codes or allow you to level up. And at the same time, your job was going to be a lot of sales and marketing on recruiting team members, sales and marketing on recruiting investors, sales and marketing on recruiting customers, sales and marketing on recruiting partners, sales and marketing on teaching the broader ecosystem. All these things come together in sales and marketing. And those are the 6 habits for me that I wrote down, that who I need to be to serve this community, this unstoppable community, to take it to that next level. That's what I'm committing it to. And it serendipitously worked out that this was the topic we were doing. I'm like, this is awesome. This works out really well. And so hopefully those are the 6 pieces that you can apply to take your company to that next stage. Now, one of the things that I find a lot of value in is having a written out strategy, a 1-page strategy. So if you're at that stage where you have some revenues and you're looking to scale your company to the next level, I encourage you to write down a 1-page strategy during your me time, just to see what it feels like, just to see how much you know and you don't know and what you need to flesh out. And I have a template for this as part of my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. It's completely free. All you need to do is just go to getunstoppable.com/strategy. Getunstoppable.com/strategy. It's completely free. You'll get this 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. It's got a 1-page template, and it's also got, for each of the 5 things that you want to write down in that 1-page strategy, it's got related videos on this channel, again, completely free, that you can watch to start to understand, what do we have a strategy for? What do we not have a strategy for? What do we need to flesh out? Then you can figure out who you need to talk to. So all of that is in there. Just go to getunstoppable.com/strategy. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. I also drop an episode like this, whether I'm on vacation or at my studios in Dallas, Texas, every single Sunday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. You'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. Also, if you have a fellow founder, if you have a team member, if you're part of a Slack group or a WhatsApp group, a community of other founders, SaaS founders that would get value from this video, please share this video with them. My team and I put a lot of love into these videos, and it's all from the trenches, from actually walking the walk that you are walking. This is not all theory or anything. I've done this before, I'm doing it again, and I'm doing it right along with you, and I'm sharing my learnings. And this YouTube channel is how I study the game. Honestly, I know I'm a better operator, a better CEO, a better founder when I can study the game, and this is how I study the game. I study the game, I share it with others, and then I implement it myself, and I know what works and doesn't work, and I come back and I iterate on it and I share it again. And I work with founders like you directly so we can all collectively learn together. That's what Unstoppable really is about. And so please share it with others. It would mean the world to me. Lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is gonna be unstoppable. I'm TK. I'll see you in the next episode when I'm back home, hopefully. And that's all I got. I'll talk to you soon. Go ahead and download that guide, like the button, comment below, share it, all those things. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Love you guys.